just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight it's a preseason matchup here in Week 3 between the New Orleans Saints and the Cleveland Browns. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They begin on the ground with Kamara.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I don't know what Coach told me before. They always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Again, it's Kamara. And this will wind up a Saints first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Carr. Finding Taysom Hill complete. On the move past the 40. Look at the big fella go. A big play there on the catch and run. 58 yards. I tell you, for a defender, that's got to be a scary sight, seeing a big man like this with a head of steam behind him as he makes that catch and then turns upfield.
And this is something this defense is going to have to account for as this game goes on. He's a space player. They want to get him out in the open field and let him make his move. So if you're going to stick with him, you've got to make sure you plaster him, as they like to say, on the defensive side of the ball.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taking it about the 1. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Slot man moves right. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. Finding space at the 40. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Had the option to hand that one off or run it himself, but instead, a really easy quick pass.
I like the way they made a decisive decision and got it right to the receiver. One move later, he's in the end zone.
Now Cade York for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. Going quickly here to Thomas. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And he'll get this to the 22. So they began the play at the 11, and it's a gain of 11. 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Bryan Edwards, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Watson. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
He'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line.
Tony Field that time in on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Kamara. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
65 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Jet sweep. Here's Olave.
And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal.
They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Carr, a quick throw. It's complete. Touchdown! Adam Troutman, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Saints go up by 2 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's a tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Watson off play action.
Going out wide, finds Chubb.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're acting panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. To throw is Watson. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Then their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again is Watson. This is intercepted.
Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Saints will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And some room to maneuver. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
98 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the 2nd quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the 3rd quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the 3rd quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the 4th quarter.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Browns drive about to get started.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Watson. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Watson. Looking for and finding Amari Cooper again. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Watson now to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Now, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down.
117 yards rushing now for Kamara. It's a 1st down.
Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Carr. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. There's Chris Olave. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
What now?
Now Carr again. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final shot here before half for Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Our starters likely to be out there for the 3rd quarter as we get back underway in this 2nd half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now on 2nd and 13, Carr, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to be about a yard or two short of the first here. He needed the 35, but didn't make it. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this 3rd quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the 2nd half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the 3rd quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this 2nd half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Browns drive about to get started.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Watson. Open man here. Schwartz complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 1.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The Browns send out their punter now. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you had looked, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Brownsons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The first down run with Chubb is going to go nowhere. He's, in fact, going to lose a couple.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Watson. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. So the completion good for just 3. And 3rd and 8 now. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line.
I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. This offense returning out there, and really you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
18 Cardinal.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. That one complete to Hill. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. On 1st down, Beverly, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try to finish off the game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jameis to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Browns are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Walker from the gun on third down.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. And the defense coming through on third down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alontae Taylor, and the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big, they just sent their receivers out, let it fly, but the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all, because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on 3rd down.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent game.
A first down throw for Winston.
Getting the football to Davis on an out route. Down inside the 10.
Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. 26 yards. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Working out of the gun here, Walker. That one caught by Felton.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he is going to have a Browns first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Walker. Now brings it in across the formation.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Let's go now.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
To throw is Walker.
And his throw here is going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now Walker.
Over the middle, complete. That's Grant.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready, break.
On 1st and 10, Walker.
And he slings one that's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now Walker.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Alontae Taylor. There he goes left side. The 40. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go, here we go.
Walker throwing after the interception. That's going to be taken in by Felton. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Oh, it's a screen pass. It's complete. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Arizona Cardinals and the Denver Broncos. And off we go from Denver. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. First carry for James Conner. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. Plays like that will really help this offense settle in here on the road.
And when you go on the road, you also have to deal with the fans as well. And when you have those types of runs, that'll settle them back into their seats.
Right back to Conner here on first. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now Murray throwing on second down. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Here's Murray. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. On 1st and 10 is Conner. It's Kareem Jackson making the play defensively.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Now Murray off play action. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And that may have been incomplete, but he reminds me so much of when my dad used to take me to the baseball stadium and watch the home run hitters in batting practice. I'll get to the stadium early just to watch this kid throw it. He can throw it out of the stadium.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Play fake. Murray. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
2nd and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy.
And this Bronco defense really selling out to stop the run, and it pays off. They get him behind the line twice in a row.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now this time, Murray to throw it. And that is caught by Brown for a Cardinal touchdown. Marquise Brown with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cardinals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point good by Prater. And it's now a 7-0 game.
The score, Cardinals 7, Broncos nothing.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They go play action with Wilson.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Buda Baker with a pick.
And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they were trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
We saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw is Murray. Zach Ertz has it complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. What a luxury to have a tight end that can run a post route like that.
It's a luxury for the offense. It's an extreme luxury for the quarterback. Always has a great outlet and usually able to come up with a nice play down the middle of the field.
Murray flips this forward on a jet sweep. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
2nd and goal from the 1.
It'll be Murray on the keeper.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They find themselves down 10-0 early after the interception on their opening drive led to a field goal.
So now they've got to pick up the mantle a little bit. You mentioned the team's down 10. They've helped contribute to that. How are they going to get their team back into this ball game? Run the offense that you think is going to be effective and execute it at a high level.
Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Wilson. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 43. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 43. They give it to Williams, running right. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. The Broncos at 2-11 now of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cardinals are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. A turnovers, obviously, Charles, always costly, but, man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
They start with a give to counter. And he swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It was D.J. Jones who was there for the tackle.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. The 2nd down play, not much better than the 1st, just a gain of 1 there. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on third down, Murray. He's going deep for Brown. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the Broncosians are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing, maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 1.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Cards are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Give him 30 yards there.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. Murray now on first down. He's going deep for Brown. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Cardinals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Wilson's throw there complete to Hamler. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A big play there on the catch and run. 53 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Broncos are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Wilson going to throw for it. And his throw here's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field and took away his intended read and almost dared him to try and put his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. On play action, it's Murray. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. KJ Hamler deep for the Broncos. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Buda Baker with a pick, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Prater on to add the extra point.
He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go.
Makes the score Cardinals 23, Broncos 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. Man open left side. It's Williams.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down.
That's going to be caught by Judy. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This will be caught just inside the 10. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a gain of 6.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year, 10th overall. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It is true, the lead cut to 10, 23-13. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray.
He's going deep for Brown. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception.
Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. I'm starting to wonder, Charles, 5 interceptions, is that the last that we've seen of him?
Well, I think that a lot of people hope that's the last they've seen of him in this game, probably including himself. If this were baseball, the manager would have been at the mound already and asked for the ball, and he'd be in there getting a shower. But in football, you might have to go stand on the sideline and watch the rest of it and see if your backup can do any better.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Oh, they've intercepted Murray for the 3rd time. Picked off by Quad Williams. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. So now, Charles, this drive, and now here's another interception. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Murray a give. This is Conner. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, it's Conner. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Conner on the read option. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. That's complete to McBride. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off, lost yardage. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. As we get late in this one, Is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Connor powering his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. And that is what you call lowering the boom down near the goal line. He was going to force his way in no matter what.
They always talk about low man wins when it comes to the offensive line, having the leverage to move the defenders. It's strong man wins when it comes to tackling in the red zone. And if you happen to be the low man and the strong man, that's a huge win.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
Cardinals 30, Broncos 13. Matt Prater to kick off for Arizona.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. J.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. This is Connor running right, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now Murray off play action. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
There's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 10. Play fake. Murray forced out to his left. And he checks this one down to Williams. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to about the 19. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Raiders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. From the 27, Wilson.
Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now Wilson on first down.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40.
The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots. And that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Arizona,
the final 3 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win.
And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the season is really nosediving now as they fall to 2-12. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.